Hey, what's up, world, and welcome to the 35th edition of the Take One podcast. And this episode is just basically about just questions that I have that just want to get my opinions on certain things and blah blah blah. It's nothing like significant, like no heavy news drop and no trailers or nothing like that. But just stuff that I wanted to know and by you guys listening, hopefully you guys agree with me, or if you disagree with me, I mean, that's just your opinion. You can write it down there in the comment section. Do whatever you feel like. I mean, of course, everything that I say or everything that you say, we're not going to be able to agree, on every single thing. So it's just my thoughts in this, and everything is kind of relating in a sense. This episode is kind of about biopics, but the first thing I want to talk about is the Stan Lee fantasy biopic that was put out not too long ago. I want to say sometime at the beginning of this year, or maybe it was like last year, that it was proposed that they were going to do a Stan Lee biopic, but it was going to be in the realm of fantasy. It was going to be like have some bits of truth about like Stan Lee and his life, but take on a fantasy type like look and just show how he came up with the ideas of like just creating Marvel characters and stuff like that. And to me, I didn't put out a video around that time speaking on that, but just thinking about it recently, it's like matter of fact, even thinking about it then, it was like that seems like really cool. It really does. Because I wouldn't be, opposed to that. I mean, of course, I would, I ain't gonna say I would rather see. I would want to see a regular, biopic involving Stan Lee and like his life and how he came to be what he is now. But just seeing the fantasy, I mean, I think literally Disney can do it in a way to where I could see it as like a Disney movie, basically. Whereas like a live action Disney movie that has a lot of like fantastical, that has a lot of just imagination to it. Where he's meeting this big guy that's like kind of grayish or whatever the heck, and it get him because I mean, to me, I don't read comic books and I don't know all the creators. I don't know, but I'm just throwing stuff out there. Like he could have something in his life to where when he was like 11, he met this guy who was like really big. He kind of like an ogre or whatever, but he was kind of grayish, and he just thought of like the Incredible Hulk, and then that's where the idea came from for the Incredible Hulk. Or he met this guy one day while he was like a little bit older, and he was going through the rainforest. This guy just jump across some trees like a spider, and that's how he came up with Spider-Man. I can see them doing stuff like that. Just maybe Stan Lee is sitting down talking to like one of his grandkids or some type of kid, and the kid want to know how he came up with like the ideas of certain characters and blah blah blah, and Stan Lee is saying that like, okay, this is how I came up with it, and he's just giving him this fantastical story or stories about his adventures and how he came up with Marvel comics and stuff like that. And I can see them doing that, and I'm just like, man, that would be such a cool movie. That would be a cool movie in itself to I would say to do, and just to have. Like, if they don't do it, shit, I'm gonna write the script for it. It won't be a Stan Lee film, but it will be a film nonetheless. Like, to me, that I can literally picture it in my mind, just him telling him these fantastic stories, like, and it'd be like something where it's about the little kid, like the story's revolving around him. His home life is just torn to shreds. Like his parents, they can't get along. They're always constantly fighting. He's an outcast at school. He runs into Stan Lee, or this guy who, this old man or whatever that lives up the block or whatever the heck, and he finds out that Stan Lee, creator of Marvel Comics, and then every day after school he goes to Stan Lee's house and stuff, and he tells him all these different stories and blah blah, and he's doing that. Like, I can picture that being just a really good movie, because like they can put facets of his life into this movie, They can make a whole bunch of it. Like, a lot of it's fiction. Fictional characters and all that stuff. A lot of stuff that happened in fiction. But at the same time, still use real elements of his life in it. And of course, you can still have a regular biopic. But, it can have like a little fun feel to it. It could be light. It ain't gotta be a Marvel film, of course. It's not a comic book, but just a Disney film, just on the fictional life of like Stan Lee. And I'm just thinking like that would be so crazy. And like I know if you guys listening, y'all probably getting in y'all head like, man, that would be fucking cool. Y'all probably coming up with concepts of y'all own and stuff, but it's like, to me, that seems like a really cool concept. And I don't know if it's still on the books. I think that was just in talks of doing something like that. I don't know if that was just something that they actually were really going to do. I think it was something that they may consider. But at this point, I haven't heard anything about it. So I think that that's not even going to happen. But if it does happen and they end up putting it out and it comes out like 2019 to 2020 or something like that, then I will be like, yo, I'm down. This movie, yeah, that would be a fucking phenomenal ass movie, and that will be a movie that I will pay money to go see. And I think that's all I really gotta say about that. Like I said, if they don't do anything about that, I'm gonna turn it into a script. I'm gonna start writing it. Like I said, it won't be revolving around Stan Lee, but it's gonna be around another comic book person, a made up comic book person, or whatever. But yeah, that to me, it excites me. So if they end up doing it, I'm gonna be excited. I'm gonna be there opening day to go see that Thursday. But in any case, moving on to the next thing I want to talk about, which is, like I said, everything has to do about biopics. And then it was just this question that was floating around in my head. Should biopics and novels be made into streaming or TV series rather than a movie? And my opinion, my thoughts on it is, yeah, I think that it would serve better as a streaming service series or as a TV series, because when you think about it, a lot of the source material from like comics. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get something. This was bothering me, but wow. Oh, my bad. Excuse me for that. But yeah, when you look at certain stuff as like, biopics, things about people's lives, or just a novel, because novels aren't like 200 pages. 300 pages. I mean, I guess they probably could. I don't read books, so I wouldn't know. But when I think of novel, I think of like 500 plus pages, 1,000 pages, stuff like that. I think of like a lot of pages. So it's like there is a lot of stuff to go through, especially if you do like the life of like Michael Jackson, or the life of like Steve Jobs, or the life of Michael Jordan, or something of like that. It's like there is a lot to cover. There was a very lot to cover. I don't know if that was proper English. There was a very lot to cover. There was a whole lot to cover. There we go. There's a whole lot to cover when it comes to like different people's like bios. And I'm gonna just talk on the bio side, and then I'm gonna switch to the novel instead of going back and forth. But I think watching All Eyes on Me, which I'm gonna come out with that review. I don't know if it's gonna be next week or the week after, but I'm gonna be coming out with that review soon. So, but just to talk on it, I feel like I enjoyed that movie, but I feel like it could have benefited from being like a Netflix series. Now I know that they have something coming out that's revolving around Biggie and Pac's death. I believe it's on USA, which is kind of weird. I would think something like that would be on like A&E or something like that. But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I think biopics would benefit from being on a streaming service or a TV series. It ain't gotta be like 20 something episodes per season. It could be like 6 to 10 episodes per season. Like in my mind, I'm thinking, Netflix. That's what's on my mind right now. But it could be as, what is that? but it can also. I'm sorry, I heard something in my background. It kind of threw me off. But anyway, it's like it could go as well as on like a TV, channel, a TV station or whatever. But it's like you can flesh out a whole lot more if you do it in that way, rather than trying to condense it to like a 2 hour, 2.5 hour movie. And it's like a lot of times you still have to take a lot of stuff out. You can't work on too much. Now, if you're doing a TV series, of course, a lot of times you still gonna have to take stuff out, but you get a lot of time to flesh out certain situations, to flesh out certain characters, or not characters, but people that's in there. You get to flesh out certain people's backgrounds and stuff. And, and you just get to do a whole lot as opposed to the movie. Because you treat it like, even though these are all real people. They're like, the actors are portraying real people that existed or exist in real life. It still is like, you still got to tell a lot about the people that's around. Now, I don't want to, when it's a biopic, I don't like to call them characters, because they're not characters. But it's like you still have to tell a lot about the background of the people, and it's like it's a lot to get through. I feel like movies like Hidden Figures, even though that was a good film, my review is up. Plug. My review is up on my channel for that. But I feel like that could have been done easy. Well, not easier, but that could have been done just as well in the Netflix series. Maybe, certain points, take at a certain point of where they were at when it first got put onto the program. And then the second season, if it does good with the first season, the second season can pick up on the next thing. And then, go until, like, it can't go no more with their story. And it's the same thing. Like, I feel like All Eyes on Me could have benefited from it. I haven't seen Steve Jobs or Jobs. I don't know which one was the one with Michael Fassbender. But from what I hear, that movie could have taken, that could have been benefited from being a Netflix series or just a series itself. And it's just a whole bunch of other ones. If they do a biopic about Prince, that could benefit from being, a regular series. I mean, I'm not saying turn every single biopic into a Netflix or TV series, but, it's just at least try some, Try one biopic, maybe a Michael Jordan biopic or something like that, a Prince biopic, and just put it as a Netflix series. Do one season where you're talking about one aspect of his life. That do well, next season talk about another aspect of his life, and just keep going from there. I feel like it's a whole lot that they could do that they can't do when it comes to the movies, because you're restricted to a 2 hour, 2.5 hour format, and 3 hours is kind of frowned upon, especially if it's not a huge movie. If it is not a huge movie, or a good movie at that. So it's that would be kind of danger zone. Like 2.5 will be kind of like pushing it, but still in the same sense, it's like, I don't know. I feel like it would be served better as that. Not every single one. Like I said, I'm not saying turn every single biopic into a Netflix series or a television series or whatever. But in the same sense, I mean, it will benefit better. You get to do more with it. You get to add more content that you wouldn't be able to add up in a movie. And to get to novels, I feel the same way. Like, I seen the movie It recently. My review is up, so go ahead and check that out. But I seen the movie It recently, and just other movies. But It is something recently I seen that I can just say whatever. But that's one of those movies where it has so much to it. I believe that book I heard is like 1,000 pages, and from the TV series, which I haven't seen the mini series that came out in 1990. But from that, it has certain aspects of it. And I believe this new incarnation of it, which is not a remake of the TV series. So I want people to kind of know. It's not a remake. It's a reimagining. It's another adaptation of the book of Stephen King's It. It is not a remake. So I just want to put that out there. I think I have another podcast I put out that last week that I'm talking about that. I forgot which number, but in any case, I feel like novels could benefit from that. I saw it, and I feel like it has so much more from, it's a 1,000-page book. So more than likely, they took a whole lot out. They took a whole lot of stuff out. And I feel like it could have benefited from that. Like, you could have had one season that was like maybe 8 episodes put on Netflix. And then, and you don't need that much. You don't need CG in it. You can make it creepy as hell. Flesh out the characters. Even though, like put it like this, the characters were fleshed out in the movie. I'm not even gonna lie. The characters were fleshed out in the movie, so that's not really a big deal when it comes to this. But you could flesh the characters out a little bit more, get a little bit more in depth into each and every one of them. And you can do a lot more. You can have Pennywise be more than just a clown. You can have him be other things. And, you can invoke a little bit more creepiness. Invite a little bit more stuff from the book into this story that's being told from episode to episode to episode to episode and all that stuff. And I feel like it could have benefited from that. And it's just like how I feel with biopics. Not every single novel has to be, I don't feel like every single novel has to be turned into a Netflix or TV series. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that a lot of them could benefit from doing that, having that long extended period of time to where certain stories can be told, certain characters' arcs can be elaborated a little bit more on. You can put a little bit more into it that you couldn't do it with a movie. And I feel like that's where they just kind of need to go from here. At least test it out. Like, I don't know if there's any biopics that have been turned into like a TV series or something like that is out. But if it's not, go ahead and do it. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't do it. I don't understand it. It's like you can do a whole lot more. But I mean, that's either near or there. But also other things. What is another novel? The thing that come to mind is Hunger Games, but that was decent. That could have been a movie. I don't, just whatever. Twilight, that shouldn't have been made. 50 Shades of Grey. See, that could have been a show on like Showtime. Because I know a lot of people that like the books, which is, women or whatever. They love the whole aspect of that. They were disappointed with the whole aspect of the whole like sex part, how it wasn't as raunchy or as revealing as the book was. But I mean, that could have been done in a sense as a freaking TV series on Cinemax at 9-10 o'clock at night, and I don't think it would have had like a whole lot to do with it, but I mean, you can have done it on Stars. It ain't gotta be a full-fledged porno, but it could have been on Stars. Like, literally, I think that would have been a perfect fit for it. Yeah, I think that would have been a perfect fit for 50 Shades of Grey, or the 50 Shades trilogy, or whatever, how many books it is. I don't care. I don't watch the movies. I care less whether it's whatever. But in any case, but yeah, I feel like biopics and novels will benefit very heavy from being like a Netflix series or a regular TV series. And like I said, you don't have to put 1,000 episodes per season. Just do a few episodes, see how it does, and if it does well, green light it for another season. That season done well, green light it for another season, and just keep going on from there, because it's just so much that can be told that will be left out. And that's why you get all these different biopics, or just about the same people, and because different things is told. Certain things have to be left out, but then this is told. That's and it's just, I feel like it would work. So that is my take on that. And so with that said, this concludes my Take One podcast, episode 25. And I'd like to thank you guys for joining me and listening to me talk about stuff that I wanted to talk about and all that good stuff. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you agree, disagree, write it down there in the comment section below. And don't forget, like this video, leave a comment. Well, I just said that. But also, subscribe. If you haven't, why haven't you? If you like this video, subscribe. I took a hiatus for a while. I'm not going to get too much into it because I said it on the last podcast and all that stuff. But I took a hiatus for like some months. I'm back now. Put out about 20-something videos last week. And I'm going to be trying to put out a whole bunch more this week and the weeks to come. And I'm going to be doing a rebranding as well. That's going to be happening like real soon. So stay forward for that and subscribe. Just hit the button and hit that bell, that notification, so that you will get notified for anything that drops on this channel. And yeah, that is it. Like I said, it is the end. So I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.